of the world. Here we go on a Thursday morning. Partly cloudy, partly sunny out there today. It's the 9th day of May. And we're going to turn things around again. Considering that this guy is retired, he is an absolutely busy character. Mr. Bierzynski is going to be with us this morning, I'm happy to report, sooner than you expect. The gentleman has to be out of here by 9:30. So rather than go through the usual routine we normally do, where we have him on, the last half of the show, we're actually going to begin the program with him this morning. Yeah, we are. However, at least I want to give you a little heads up on what we've got in the next hour for you. First of all, our condolences to Kirani James and his family. I learned early this morning that Kirani's mom passed away overnight, and sorry to hear that. We also have some information for you about a CCJ ruling which came down yesterday on the David Bain case. Yes, sirree. A lot of people around the region are keeping a close eye on that. Then we also have the national report, as always, which I know you're waiting for with bated breath. However, before we get to all of that stuff, let's say good morning to Mr. Alan Bierzynski. And a very good day to you, sir. How are you? I am doing fine. Pardon me? Yeah. Top of the world. Yeah. So before you get into your spiel, Mr. B, I thought you were retired. And when you got to do, you got to do. Okay, sir. So therefore, he has to leave early this morning. Alan, let it rip.
Megan.
Yes.
Charlottesville or Charlottetown or something or other. And I'm wondering whether or not it was because Portuguese merchants had settled in that particular town. Now, those Portuguese merchants have a particular
Regretful promise. Okay. Yes. Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. B. You can go ahead and smile. I'm taking a deep breath here, contemplating what you've said. However, I have to let you know that apparently I'm hearing you loud and clear, but apparently the folks out there are not hearing you very well, and I just want to say to them that don't worry about it, don't worry about it. We're going to have this up on Facebook just after the program is ended. Mr. Bierzynski this morning has been talking, well, obviously about Mr. Donald Trump. And what else have you been talking about, saying? The royal family. Yes, the new child that's been born into this, and the activity that's been sparked on Facebook as a result. Did I send you a photograph of the baby with Her Majesty the Queen? Wagwan Granny. Yeah. And I'm sure that we haven't seen the last of it. That's going to go on for a little while. Anything else up your sleeve this morning, sir? So therefore, you can now go off to your next assignment in peace. Clear conscience. Clear conscience. All right, Alan, because of the difficulties that we're having this morning, I'm going to keep it short. Terribly sorry about it. Well, AB boy, AB, we're working under very, very difficult circumstances with very limited resources. But we're going to simply continue plugging away, do whatever we can, you know? That's all I can say to you. Thanks a lot, AB. Thanks a lot. All right, folks, terribly sorry about the issue there with Alan this morning. What can I say? What can I say? Very limited resources, and every once in a while they choose to go south. Let's see here. Yeah. We'll get by. We'll get by. Actually, we should be thankful. We had a pretty good run there recently, where things seem to have been pretty okay. But this morning they're complaining, you guys are complaining that not only are you unable to hear Alan, but you're also getting low audio from me, says John. So I don't know what else to tell you. I'm trying. God help us. Okay. Folks, so that's going to take care of Alan. We reversed the order this morning. Instead of having Alan towards the end of the program, we had him right up at the top. Now, let me take a little break here. And Benedict says you sound like you're in a vacuum. Benedict, it feels like I'm in a vacuum. It does. Take a little break here, and then we'll come back.
Are you equipped to take a closer look behind the numbers? The Caribbean Institute of Forensic Accounting can help you build your professional skills to audit and investigate fraud, waste, and abuse. Through the Forensic Certified Public Accountants FCPA program, you gain qualification to conduct forensic audits and investigations globally. Earn international recognition and designation as a Forensic Certified Public Accountant from the Forensic CPA Society of the USA. Certificate courses run May to November 2019 in Grenada at the Grenada National Stadium. To register, contact us at info@cfa-edu.com or 868-224-3478.
My name is Jennifer James, and I've been making confectionaries for the past 7 years. Growing up as a little girl, I always wanted to make these little things. Fudge, sugar cake, tamarind ball, these little things. I read something actually, and it said that tamarind itself is very good because it eliminates fat from the liver. You get the mature tamarind and you crack it, you shell it out. I would add a little baking soda, some spices, I would leave it to rest probably for about 2 hours and then add my sugar and just start kneading. I usually knead it hard enough so that I can roll it. When I finish roll it, I will paste it with the actual white or brown sugar. And you have a nice tamarind ball. I have been providing food fare with tamarind ball about 6 years now. I started producing tamarind ball to sell for the school children. I thought I could advance somewhere. So I went to food fair and I asked one of the salespersons there if they would be interested in selling my tamarind ball. And she told me yes. She told me to bring 20 packets to start with. It was really a joy for me because I wanted to extend on my little business. My name is Jennifer James and I work with the food fair to provide you with tamarind balls.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Co-op Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. I'm seeing a little note here from Martin Carmichael Simon. He says, referring to what Alan was talking about a little while ago, he says, BB, I'm not sure who BB is, fired Danny Baker. I'm not sure who Danny Baker is, over the royal baby chimp tweet. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not surprised to hear that somebody got fired over the tweets and the WhatsApp images that have been circulated since the birth of that child. I have seen some of those. Okay, granted, they may be hilarious, but I think in many ways just absolutely ridiculous. You know, some people just go a little bit overboard, okay? Before I move on, okay here. Martin has just corrected himself. He said that should be BBC. Okay, so yes, the BBC fired Danny Baker over the royal baby chimp tweet. Yeah, okay, not surprised. Folks, just before I move on to our next segment, I want you to take another look right into my eyes. Believe me. I sincerely apologize for the audio difficulties and many of the other little snafus we have had. Yeah, sometimes things go well, but I'm trying to do a lot, and we simply don't have the resources. Fortunately, there are some little gadgets that we have been able, to very creatively slap together, and thanks to being able to do that, we've been able to get our programs out to you. But because these systems are not designed to do what we're asking them to do, they sometimes go, you know what I mean? Kaput. They just hang up. And it seems like that's one of the problems we're having here this morning. We had that yesterday as well, if I'm not mistaken, when we had, who was it, Sharon was on with us yesterday. Yeah, we had some difficulties. So, if there's any way you folks can help us to get the proper technology to do this at the level we're trying to do it. There are a lot of people out there streaming just using their little, little camera. But they're not trying to do things in as sophisticated a manner as we are trying to do it. Because there's so many streams, so many alternatives, you really need to be competitive to stand out. And obviously you need technology and creativity to do that. Well, it seems like we've pushed it as far as we can. It's tough, but you know what? This little bugger is going to keep on trying. He's going to keep on trying. I'm very thankful that considering what we have, we've been able to pull off a lot. Actually, you know, I understand just this week, another streamer was inquiring or asking people for help to try and bring his stream up to the standards that we offer. There are people out there who admire and appreciate what we're doing. But technology being technology, like humans, sometimes fails. And that's the challenge we face here, okay? Let's see here. John says Danny Baker is the BBC presenter. Okay, I get it. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, John. These are both Brits, by the way. Thank you so much for clarifying things. Then John goes on to say here, Gigi, you're doing a great job with what you have to work with, along with informing the nation. Yeah, and then he goes on to say, what about a Fund Me page? John, John, you gotta be kidding. John, hello? I think it was in October last year, John, in October. If you look at the website that you're on right now, GRENADABROADCAST.com, near the menu at the top, you will see a purple icon there. Actually, it's right over the Grenada Broadcast, just to the right over the Grenada Broadcast logo. It says donate. John, we've been begging, literally begging, since October of last year. One of my dear friends, Margaret, helped me to organize that campaign. She worked her buns off. John, I could count on one hand the number of people who have responded to that. Okay? Yet, John, we keep hearing the demands for more, do more investigative reporting, do this, do that, do the other, do the other. Do the other, do the other, do the other. And John, guess what? Georgie Porgy wants to do just that. There's so much more that I want to do. Remember two things. One, I operate a one-man band for the last just over 14 years. One-man band. Okay? And I ain't no spring chicken anymore, you know. I get old. Can't run like I used to. You know, John? That's one. And two, the resources. You need stuff that works, not makeshift stuff like it that we slap together here. Not makeshift stuff, no. Need to be professional in order to provide what the folks out there have been asking for. I don't blame you for asking. You know, you see this, a lot of people are amazed at some of the stuff they see on these programs. But there's a lot more. It can be done, and will be done. Why do I say will? Because I am an eternal optimist. I believe that one day, somebody or a group of people will come to their senses and be fair and say, hey, you know what, look, that little bugger is trying to do something. He's really trying. Let me see if I can give him some help. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I really do believe that. And to those of you who over the years have helped, God bless you. And you will be blessed. You will be, if you haven't already. Yeah. Some notes here. Let's see, on the box here. Margaret says there is a donate button on the GRENADABROADCAST.com. Yeah, that's what she's saying. That's what I just told them, Max. There is a button there. Judge, do this. Judge, do that. Judge. Bring me more videos. George wants to. He really, really wants to. There's only so much one person can do with very limited resources. And she goes on to say here, good journalism and programming costs. Yeah. Mags, well, you know, Mags is a former journalist herself, so she understands that. It costs. It costs. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know, you sit back in your armchair and look at the news and so on. Do you have any idea what it costs to put that stuff together for you? Do you have any idea? You know, radio is bad enough, but the demands made by television cost a whole lot more. Sometimes people sit down and they look at stuff on television and they say, well, why can't GEN be like that? Or why can't George Grant be like that? Pilgrims, when you look at CNN and you see, let's say Wolf Blitzer. Wolf is sitting there rattling off stuff like you wouldn't believe. And that's the only person you're seeing, Wolf Blitzer. You look at Wolf. But let me tell you, there are dozens, hear me, dozens of people behind Wolf whom you don't see. People out there doing research. People out there typing and preparing the graphics that you see at the bottom of the screen with the little bugs they put up in the corner and this and that. Dozens of people behind these guys. Then there are people who their only job is to write the script. Write the script. So Wolf doesn't have to go and sit to talk. He's got people doing that stuff. So when you turn on your sets and you look at the anchor, believe me, there is a whole lot going on behind the scenes that you don't see. Not that you really care, but you don't see. And all of that costs money. Okay? Thank God technology has brought things to the point where, you know, I could be sitting on a bus with my little mobile device and streaming to you. Sure. So what do you see? You see a face for Georgie Porgy. Oh, I guess it's Georgie Porgy talking a lot of garbage. Yeah. All right. But to get things done properly, the way I like to do them, costs. It costs. Let me take another little break here, and we'll come back and tell you about Kirani James's mom and a couple other things.
Boy, you, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming.
Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say, kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kite threads conduct electricity. Do not fly kites near overhead power lines. This can lead to electric shocks and power outages. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, do not try to retrieve it. Release it and call GRENADA. Always fly kites in open areas. Keep your kites far away from roads. And remember, always clean up after yourself.
GRENADA, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company, tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive, motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary, public liability, professional indemnity, directors liability, and wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
All right, there's a little note here from Benedict. Benedict says, take the CNN behind the scenes tour. Obviously, Benedict is somebody who understands. He's probably referring to a YouTube video where you can go see the sort of work that goes into putting out the presentations which you so enjoy watching, okay? Folks, on a lighter note, I don't see him this morning, but I'm sure that everybody is familiar with T.F. Richards. On a lighter note this morning, he came to mind when somebody sent this to me. I'm just going to pop this up for an instant, and I want you to have a little chuckle. You know, T.F., when he gets on social media, he says, "Good morning, family." You've seen those? Somebody sent this to me this morning, and I couldn't help but wonder, is that T.F. Richards? T.F.? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. T.F., somebody out there, obviously has a sense of humor. Family. Now I see how you spell family. F-A-M-A-L-A-A-Y. Family. Thanks a lot. I haven't seen T.F. this morning, but when next you see him, go ahead. Tell him that George and the team were making fun of him on Thursday morning. T.F. Okay, now, something else I also want to pop up here for you this morning. I have not got the details, but I received something this morning saying that the mother of Kirani James, our Olympic gold medalist winner, passed away overnight. You know, probably a tough time for this youngster, studying and training and, competing and all that, and now having to deal with the passing of his mom. My condolences go out to you, Kirani. I haven't seen you in a couple of years, but I certainly hope that God will be with you, carry you through this challenge. And just remember, my friend, that this too shall pass. Tough time. But like I said, this too shall pass. Let me, do I go to another break? Yeah, we have another break here, and then we'll come back with, my goodness, we got so distracted this morning, we forgot about your national report. Would you forgive me? See, if I had more staff, they would have reminded me. My only staff member, take a look, huh? I keep forgetting his name. His name is Kelly. And Kelly was born on December 19th, 2017. And I only got to see him for the first time a few weeks ago when our good friend Sharon brought this guy to me. He's not very helpful, just sits here on my console, looks at me and smiles, but he's still my number one staff. Take a break. We'll come back with the GIS.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Together with you, our customers, we energize our community.
Together with you, we energize our economy.
We are working together to give our nation a better tomorrow.
With you, we energize our future. Together, we energize our nation.
Thank you for partnering with us as we energize our Spice Island.
GRENLEC, energizing our Grenada.
Okay, there are a couple of comments here. First of all, Lydia James says, condolences to Kirani and his family. Very sad moment. May her soul rest in peace. Donna Joseph says, his mom is his rock. She was such a pleasant woman. My condolences to Kirani and his entire family. You know, Donna, I only met this lady once, and I think it was the night that he arrived here. Remember when he came back after the Olympic gold medal? I was at the airport as part of the welcoming party, and I met that lady. And I also met his dad, met them both. Yes, she is a very pleasant lady. So although I don't know her very well, I can just imagine what a loss she is for the James family. Ryan says, condolences to Kirani and family on the passing of his mother. Okay, folks, let's get into the national report.
IMF predicts growth for Grenada for 2019. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, May 8th, 2019, I am Rakisha St. Louis. The International Monetary Fund projects strong outlook for growth for Grenada's economy. That confirmation on Wednesday by senior economist and IMF mission chief Bogdan Lesovolik during a press conference. He was presenting the findings and recommendations of the IMF mission in Grenada. Lesovolik says it was found that there will be gradual growth and fiscal performance of 3.5% in 2019.
The economic performance, and by that I mean macroeconomic performance, as favorable, and in particular there is a strong output growth and a strong fiscal performance. This combination is a is a good combination, and we call it a virtuous circle, whereby good output performance helps improve the fiscal position, which in turn is anchored by the fiscal responsibility framework. Our projections are such that we think that there will be a gradual easing of GDP growth as the current strength, particularly in construction sector, subsides. So we think that in 2019, GDP growth will be around 3.5%. And then over the medium term, over the next few years, growth would settle in the region of 3%.
He said there is still concern surrounding the unemployment rate, although it has declined. In addition, while there is an external deficit of 11%, which is lower than 2018 and the previous years, the mission commended the Citizenship by Investment program and construction projects for contributing significantly to the growth. The mission has recommended that government off-scale public spending, channel spending pressures, and accelerate reform to generate sustainable employment.
Mainly about safeguarding the economy against risks of maybe what one would call spending that is not adding to the productive potential of the economy, is aging-related spending pressures. It's very important to accelerate reforms to close some of the gaps in terms of trading across borders that are highlighted by surveys. Also, registration of property. We understand that there are efforts, projects to digitize and simplify procedures, and these efforts need to be accelerated. In terms of generating overall growth potential in the economy, it's important to capitalize on tourism and to build links of the tourism sector with agriculture and with other tradable sectors.
The National Insurance Scheme continues to promote its improvement and sustainability plan to the public as it strives to get support for its implementation. The plan was established following the release of the 11th Actuarial Review, which indicated that operations must change to sustain the credibility of the NIS. Since then, the NIS has been hosting public consultations and meeting with key stakeholders to reveal the findings of the review and the proposed recommendations. On Tuesday, the consultations were held in St. Patrick. The NIS has been advised since 2006 to gradually increase the retirement age to 65 and also the contributory rate. Director of the NIS, Dorset Cromwell, said the main concern is sustaining pension benefits. He highlighted some factors that are affecting the scheme's contribution rate, thus affecting pension.
The issue of number of workers. Of course, if you have high unemployment, you have fewer persons working in the country. If you have fewer persons working in the country, you have fewer persons contributing to the NIS, so you have less contribution income. So these are some of the key issues that affect you. Total fertility rate, birth, migration, number of workers.
Grenada, he said, is not the only country grappling with social security issues. However, other islands have made the necessary changes and were able to extend the life of their schemes. The onus, he said, is on everyone to accept there is a problem that needs urgent attention.
We have to make a determination whether we want to make a small adjustment now, increase the retirement age, and a small adjustment of paying a small increase in the contribution rate, 1% for employer, 1% for employees, or we are prepared to pay a contribution rate, maybe not us, but our kids, of 22.5% in 2035, or pay a contribution rate of 40-something% later on. That is the choices that we as a people have to make.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Data reveals that rats and other rodents are responsible for the transmission of many diseases. In Grenada, the most common is leptospirosis, and it can cause your death. This disease is directly related to rats and mice infestation. Signs and symptoms of lepto, as it is commonly referred to, are high fever, headache, chills, muscle aches, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. If your home had or is infected with rats and you have any of these symptoms, please check with your doctor immediately. Declare war on rats. Starve them. Kill them. Rats are the most unwelcome guests. Reduce, control, eliminate them. This is a message from the Ridge to Reef Project, protecting biodiversity and ecosystem functions.
Welcome back. The Sandals Foundation has come to the rescue of the School for the Deaf by procuring at a cost exceeding US $10,000 several critical assessment and assistive devices. These will be used for detecting hearing loss and facilitating the education of students with hearing loss. We get more in this report from Annette Moore.
The Sandals Foundation handed over the donation of items on Tuesday, April 7th at a ceremony held at the Grenada Athletic Stadium in St. George. Principal of the School for the Deaf, Michelle Braffett, emphasized the importance of the donation.
As World Federation for the Deaf states, deaf children must have access to equal and quality education. Deaf children must have the right to expect that their needs and human, linguistic, and educational rights are respected and supported by educational authorities. Special educators, I say to us today and to us parents and students and all gathered here, we have come a long way. Special needs provision is on the upward trend in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We can now boast of having assessments that are on par with international standards, thanks to Sandals Foundation.
As we endeavor to develop global citizens, we have to look at 21st century skills. We are not only providing for other people, but we're providing for Sandals too, because some of your guests might be hearing impaired. And we can create opportunities for our hearing impaired students as they grow up, as they enter the job market, to access quality employment.
For several years, officers within the Special Education Unit of the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs have had challenges in undertaking appropriate diagnoses for some categories of disability and needed better assessment tools.
Hearing loss is an invisible disability. Yet, if we look at statistics, we would realize it is highly prevalent. If undetected, it can lead to difficulties in many aspects of a child's life, such as their language, their socialization, academics, and most importantly, their human development and their self-actualization. If a hearing loss is diagnosed early, then the child can be immersed into language and interpersonal relationships, whether it's through the development of the auditory skills and spoken language, through sign language, or a combination of both.
The lack of a portable audiometer also limited screening of students island-wide. In October 2018, the ministry approached the Sandals Foundation for financial assistance to purchase several key items aimed at improving service delivery to special education students with hearing loss. In January 2019, Sandals consented, and immediate action was taken to purchase the items, which include an LCD projector for training and workshops, and 20 Amazon HD8 Kindle devices for use by students and itinerant teachers, which will have educational apps related to the students' specific needs. Another very critical addition is one shoebox audiometer, which is an iPad with audiometer software, which will facilitate fast screening within schools to determine whether a child has hearing loss. It can also be used for adults. Assessment tools and text include several assistive texts, checklists, and tests for the hearing impaired. 2 toner cartridges for printing were also donated.
The donation, valued at just about 28,000 EC dollars, continues the Sandals Foundation's commitment to supporting educational advancement across the Caribbean.
Congratulations to the school, because you took the initiative to write the proposal to identify the needs, and here you are today being the recipient of these wonderful gifts. I would also like to say congratulations and thank you very much for your support, your partnership to Sandals Grenada, because the Ministry of Education has a lot to do, and we do a lot. But critical to our functioning is a partnership that we have with our social partners.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
That story just ended the National Report for today, Wednesday, May 8th, recapping the top story. IMF predicts growth for Grenada for 2019. On behalf of everyone here at the Government Information Service who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Alrighty, folks, there you have it, your national report here on this Thursday morning. Now, can't figure out why, but for some reason our audio levels seem to be really low. Anyhow, during that newscast, John said, will Sandals be next in line for a 5% pre-tax deduction for social funding? Yeah. So Grenada will have company, huh? Yeah, man. Donna Joseph says, well, if as the government is boasting that Grenada is the fastest growing economy, why is it that the NIS is having problems with a fast growth rate? Employment should be on the fast rate too, and workers should be paid good salaries in order for contributions to be on the rise too. Very good observation, Donna, who also goes on to say, not only the deaf, but every physically impaired person has a right to an education. Donna, valid point. And John here says, there you go, George, even the GIS has background noise. And they have plenty of money. Yeah, John. Lauren says, good morning, and he's saying hello to a friend of his, I would imagine. Agnes, are you watching? Byron Campbell, is that the Byron Campbell who's saying hello, my friend? Hope you're well. Yeah, we're doing okay, my friend. Folks, just before we pull the curtain down, I have one more thing I want to share with you. A 5-member panel of judges of the Caribbean Court of Justice on Tuesday reserved judgment on certain preliminary legal issues in the case brought by Grenadian David Bain against the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. On October 9th, 2018, Mr. Bain applied for leave to bring proceedings against the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago for breach of his freedom of movement rights under the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas regarding his December 4th, 2017 denial of entry to attend a wedding of a family member and to enjoy Trinidad for a few days. At a case management hearing of the matter on November 20th, 2018, he became the first Grenadian to be granted leave to commence proceedings in the original jurisdiction of the CCJ, which he instituted on November 27, 2018. At another case management conference on January 30th, the court identified 3 preliminary points to be addressed by the parties based on the defense to Bain's claim filed by the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. 1. Whether Bain waived his rights to be treated as a Caribbean community national by the immigration authorities of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago upon his presentation of a completed immigration form acknowledging citizenship of the United States of America, along with a valid United States of America passport, and thereby invoking citizenship of the United States of America. 2. Whether it would make a difference in the establishment of any such waiver if Bain's disclosure of his Grenadian citizenship occurred before or after the decision was made by the immigration authorities to deny him entry into Trinidad and Tobago. And 3. Whether the presentation by Bain of his Grenada National Identification Card and his driver's license was sufficient to conclusively determine his Grenadian citizenship and thereby entitle him to be treated by the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as a national of a Caribbean community member state. The court also invited both the state of Grenada and the CARICOM Secretariat to make submissions in the matter. At Tuesday's hearing and in written submissions prior, both the CARICOM Secretariat and the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago submitted that the CARICOM passport, save for Montserrat and Haiti, is the only current appropriate document for CARICOM nationals to invoke the right to freedom of movement. When Bain entered Trinidad and Tobago in December 2017, he was traveling on his U.S. passport. Bain's attorneys, on the other hand, submitted that he, Bain, had produced sufficient evidence to the Trinidad immigration authorities to establish his Grenadian nationality, being a dual citizen of both Grenada and the United States, including his Grenadian driver's license and his Grenadian voter ID card. Bain's U.S. passport also reflected his place of birth as Grenada. It was further submitted on behalf of Bain that once he established he was a Grenadian citizen, he was entitled to be treated by the Trinidadian immigration authorities as a CARICOM national. Tuesday's hearing was presided over by CCJ President Adrian Saunders and included Justices Jacob David, Winston Anderson, and Andrew Burgess. Attorneys involved in Tuesday's hearings included Ruggles Ferguson and Patrick Superville of Sibbany Chambers for the applicant, Bain, Risha Das, Sasha Sukram, and Sean Julian for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and Dr. Corlita Bab Schaefer and Sandra Bart for the CARICOM Secretariat. The CCJ, in its original jurisdiction, has exclusive authority to interpret and apply the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, which makes provision for the Caribbean single market and economy. CSME embraces free movement of CARICOM nationals. Pilgrims, that's going to do it. That's going to do it. Anything else here? Lawrence is watching, Lawrence Kruthoff. And who else is here? I think that's it for the time being. Yeah, okay. As always, a parting word from the Holy Scriptures as we pull the curtain down. This one comes to you from the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 24, 9 to 13. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death. And you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. Matthew 24, 9 to 13. Okie doke, my dear friends. Georgie Porgy's going to hightail it out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, my apologies for snafus this morning, but things will change. Things will change. Just keep asking God for help. So long.